This question comes from a woman asking, when meeting someone for the first time that I met from online dating, when we meet, I look nice and I put in effort. Is it a lot to ask him to pay for dinner, though? Had a guy ask me if I liked ice cream. No. What about coffee? Not at 5 p.m. All right, so with this question, are you asking for too much? No, you can ask for that, but let me offer you some perspective, okay? So, one of the things that we first have to shift is the way we view online dating. It's not exactly online dating, it's online connecting because all you're doing is connecting with someone that in person you would have never crossed paths with or you haven't crossed paths with yet. And that's the beauty of it, connecting and meeting people in a way, in a cyber way that you would never meet in person. So you have not yet met them in person. Key point. All right. So I like to call that online connecting. And when you're participating in this online connecting game, your goal is to get to meeting them in person, which is the first meet. And in the first meet, let's think about that. You're meeting someone that you connected with from online dating, and what's your impression of them? As much as you think of them, they're still just two-dimensional to you. They're still just a two-dimensional picture, a two-dimensional profile, and a two-dimensional way of communicating. You're communicating via text, and even if you've had some phone conversations, you're like, well, I talked to him on the phone. Well, you've still never yet met in person. So while you're investing in this person, you still have never spent 1 second of time with them. So you tell me, why do you deserve, $100 dinner? Why should a guy just fork out? Yeah, I got $100 burning a hole in my pocket. Let's spend it on you. Let's go get some dinner. Nothing wrong with him deciding to do that, but is that the way that most people invest their money into people that they've never spent 1 second before? It sounds outrageous and silly because it kind of is. All right. So there's nothing wrong with that process. However, I think you just get to the first meet first. And you do have, I promote what this guy's talking about. A first meet should be a first meet, not a first date. All right. And what is a first meet? It's a smaller first date, smaller everything, smaller time, smaller investment on your end as far as distance, smaller effort as far as what are we spending, smaller pressure too. All right, because if you don't spend as much time, money, or effort, there's less pressure, and there shouldn't be so much pressure on the first meet because you just want to get out there and see if someone is truly who you thought they were, and if you have that connection in person, that compatibility that so far has been displaying itself online, do you have it in person? And I'd say if it checks out, well, by all means, most guys would invite you to, after getting things checked out in that first meet, the next occasion that you guys connect probably won't be coffee. If it's a great connection, it'll probably something be more up along the date ladder. But you have to earn that. And that's something that I know isn't popular to share with women, but you have to understand that we're living in a day of online dating. And if you think a guy is attractive, believe me, he can go on a date with three new women every week. But does he want to, connect with, let's say, not even a date? Does he want to connect with three new women from, say, online dating and spend $100 each time taking them all out to dinners? Is that the way the man that you would be attracted to spends his money, or would you respect him more if he actually vetted these women more before investing so much money and time and effort? Because I mean, do you want to go on a 2 3 hour date with a guy that you've never met in person and commit that time? Maybe not. Right? Most people can see that it makes sense to kind of build things up. And so maybe that perspective can help you understand why guys are inviting you out to coffee and ice cream when you're meeting them from online dating. If things check out, that coffee could have turned into a dinner, but you turned them down. If that ice cream had turned out well, it could have turned into drinks afterwards because you guys were just vibing so well. See, you're missing out on connections because my concern is that you're really concerned about him spending money or having a great dinner, but or do you want to connect with the guy and meet him and identify what compatibility that you have in person, or do you want to get a nice dinner? You got to pick because is it about the guy or is it about the dinner? Think about it that way. It's really simple, and for this first meet, I think it's fair to say that when you say it out loud, it should be about meeting the guy. And that's why you should have no problem meeting a guy for coffee, ice cream, tea. Go drink a water. If this is a guy that you really wanted to meet, you would go drink a water with this guy, right? So think about that. And when you have that approach, you're more likely to get the dates that you're looking for because people are going to see that you have value and that you're okay with people kind of proving themselves, and everybody has to kind of prove it. It shows standards that you also have for yourself. Like if you're just about to go on dates and dinners with guys that you had never met before, and you did this over and over and over, I'd be like, why are you doing this? This doesn't make sense. You just spent an entire evening with somebody that you were totally incompatible with, but didn't know it until after you were stuck on a date having dinner and you were there for 2 or 3 hours. Come on. So, something to think about. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you're meeting for the first time from online dating, it's not too much to ask for dinner, but if you're expecting it, you should also expect that lesser men are going to be compatible with that route and fewer nowadays because online dating has changed the game and it continues influencing things. And if that's going to be your deal breaker, you keep on asking for it, but you're going to limit yourself to a small population of the men. And the best men have the most options. If you have the most options, why the hell would you live this game when you have options to just spend money on women that you've never met? Guys would much rather spend money on dates and excursions with women that they know that they connect with and have proven that, geez, I love spending my time with her. I met her online. She's amazing in person. And I'd love to do this with her now. Think about that. Thanks for watching. If you appreciated the content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you believe that learning about better strategies for life and love is advantageous, I invite you to join Get Game Group. Membership is free, open to men and women, offers weekly game video lessons, and a weekly mailbag for member submissions. Click the link in the description to join.